Hey parents, Miss Pickens here, just stopping by and sending you a tutorial on how to practice STAAR level questions at home with your student. I know that many of you have been able to download the STAAR released reading and math test from the newsletter last week. So I just wanted to go ahead and send this short video on how to actually answer that STAAR question and make sure that your student is getting every bit of information so that they can answer this question correctly. What we're going to go ahead and do is start to read the question. After we finish reading the question, we'll dive right down and deep into our UPS window pane method to find the answer. A company received 492 phone calls from customers in June and 267 phone calls from customers in July. What is the difference between the number of phone calls received in these 2 months? So we've gone ahead and read the question. We kind of understand what it's asking for. We're going to go ahead and create this UPS window pane. It has 3 different boxes. The first box we're going to label with a U. That stands for understand. So what are we asking our question, or what are we asking our students to understand from the problem? What do they need to take away? What does the question want us to find? Now this question in particular is, what is the difference between the numbers of phone calls received in the 2 months? Now this is what we need to find, but we don't want to put this entire sentence in our UPS. What we want to do is go ahead and just find the important information from that question and put it into this box right here. So what is important in this question is the difference of numbers received in the 2 months. So we're just going to give ourselves a little note here, and we're going to write the difference in the 2 months. Alright, and this box is for our plan. What is our plan? Do we add? Do we multiply? Do we subtract? Do we divide? How are we going to do that? Do we estimate? Do we round? And then also the information that we need after we figure out the operation that we're going to use. In this case, because we're finding the difference, the key word right here is difference, we're going to be subtracting. Students know to look for these key words because these are going to help them figure out what that means, what we're finding in this question. What does the question want us to find? And that's the difference. The difference means subtraction. So we're going to go ahead and write ourselves a note. And I'll just write sub for short for subtraction. And then what numbers do we need? Okay, so there's 2 months here. 1 month is June and the other one is July. And in June we had 492 phone calls. In July we had 267. So we're going to go ahead and just write those numbers here. And it really doesn't matter here where how you're writing them or where you're writing them. It just matters that we have them. Okay, some students will add the word June next to 492. Some students will write July next to 267. As long as they have these numbers in their operation and they understand what they're going to be doing with these numbers, that information can be there or it doesn't have to be. So right here is our solve box. This is where the work is actually going to take place. This is where we're going to work out a problem and get our answer. Students know that in subtraction, the biggest number always goes on top. So what we're going to go ahead and do is write 492 right here. And we're going to subtract 267. Now what we need students to remember is that they have to line up the place value. So we want all of the ones to line up. We want all of the tens, all of the hundreds, and possibly even thousands that they might have to subtract. If we do not line up this place value, then we will not get the answer right. But if we line this up, students have a great shot at getting this answer correct. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the ones place, and right now it's asking us to do 2 minus 7. Well, that's really not possible for us in this ones place yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cross out this 2. It's going to become a 12. Now, where did we get this extra 1? We had to borrow it from our neighbor right here. So we're going to go ahead and cross out our neighbor, and our neighbor is now an 8 because we borrowed a group of 10 from this column. 12 take away 7 is 5. 8 take away 6 is 2. And in our hundreds, 4 take away 2 is 2. So we get the answer of 225. We're going to go ahead and double check our work. Difference, subtraction, we have the correct information. And then we're going to double check our subtraction and make sure that it's correct. 12 minus 7 is 5. 8 take away 6 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Then at this point, then we're going to look at our answers and we're going to say, okay, this answer matches 225. 759, oh, that's way too many. That is not correct. 235, too much. So that one is not correct. And 135, that is not enough. So that is not correct. Our answer is going to be F. Now, students can write any of this information on the actual test booklet page. However, when it comes to the answer document will have, it'll have like a number 24 right here, and then it'll have the bubbles going like this with F, G, H, J inside them, and students will actually just have to bubble in on their Scantron. They'll have to go to number 24 on their Scantron and bubble in a perfect bubble. So we want to make sure that students are transferring this information to their Scantron. They cannot write anything else on their Scantron. They can only fill in the bubble to record their answer. I hope that this small tutorial has been helpful. We did practice some questions at STAAR night at the school, but I know that it's hard to make it, so I wanted to go ahead and send out a little tutorial for those parents who wanted more information, but were not able to come to that STAAR night. If you have any questions, please do call or email, and have a great week. Thank you so much.